Hello and welcome to pmplounge.com, and let's not get too excited looking at the picture of Mayweather and McGregor here. We are only talking about agile versus predictive, and this is from the PMI report known as Achieving Greater Agility, and we'll be doing a lot many videos on this report because it's a really good report. It's all on agile. Its focus is on agile, and agile is the buzzword in the project management industry today. Everybody wants to go agile, everybody wants to know more about agile, and everybody wants to know how they can adopt agile. So today in this video, we are looking into agile and predictive and what is the difference between the two. And you will eventually realize that predictive is basically the traditional model that we have been following throughout, and agile is the new kid in the block. Not necessarily new because it's been a lot of years since Agile came into practice, but of late Agile has been significantly being used in the industry, right? So let's get into it. Let's understand the difference between Agile and predictive. So this is it. This is the entire table that talks about everything that you need to know between the in terms of the difference between agile and predictive. So agile, when we talk about agile, the workflow plan for current increment slash iteration. So that means only the current increment, and there will be many increments in each project. So the workflow is planned for only the current increment. That's it. The current iteration. That's it. We are not looking beyond. We are only talking about the current increment or current iteration when it comes to agile. Whereas when it comes to predictive, or if I would call it the waterfall model, which will make a lot of you much more comfortable, workflow is planned for full life cycle. Planning, planning, planning. We all know how important planning is, and we do planning all the time. Not exactly all the time in the project life cycle though, but we do all the planning that is required in the beginning itself. So for the full life cycle of the project, we do the planning, and that is in the beginning of the project itself, and that's the difference between predictive and agile. Let's talk about requirements. So the requirements are fluid when it comes to agile, right? The requirements may change, may come at different points in time, right? So requirements is fluid, but when we talk about predictive or the traditional waterfall model, the requirements are fixed. We prepare the requirements document in the beginning of the project during the planning phase, and those requirements are fixed. We don't expect many changes in it. And in fact, if there is a change, there's a separate change management that needs to be followed. By the way, I will share the link of change management. We have a playlist of change management where we have discussed change management in detail, and I'll share the playlist in the description below, and you can go over and learn more about change management from those videos. So yes, requirements are fluid when we talk about agile, but requirements are fixed when we talk about the predictive model, right? Let's talk about development cycles. So there are multiple development cycles when we talk about agile, right? There's not a single development cycle. There are multiple development cycles, and cycles are basically iteration. Cycles here basically mean the the frequency of how many development cycles will be taking place, right? How many times development will be done. And so it will be done multiple times when we talk about agile. But when we talk about predictive, there will be a single development cycle. So there will be just one development cycle, and the entire cycle will be one shot basically, since the requirements are freezed, and we'll do a one shot development. All right, moving on. The next is customer involvement. So customer involvement throughout the development, and here's the difference. Throughout development, customer is expected to be involved, right? So since there are multiple development cycles, and customer can be part of those development cycles throughout. But here in predictive model or our traditional waterfall model, customer is contacted at specific milestones. So whenever the project, achieves a milestone is when we contact the customer and we tell them what's going on and where we are and provide them a status update of sorts, right? So that's the difference between agile and predictive. Let's move on. Change. Okay, I just talked about change management. Agile is change expectant. That means you changes are expected throughout the project, right? So it's not like predictive model where the requirements are frozen in the beginning and changes are not expected. Agile expects change, agile acts on change, and the entire flow of agile is such that changes can be accommodated, while predictive model is change is seen as a constraint, right? And that's the very reason why the entire requirements are frozen in the beginning. The requirements are fixed because we see change as a constraint, and we don't want too many changes when we are following the predictive model. So that's the difference between agile and predictive when it comes to change. Testing, so just like development, uh, there will be multiple cycles of testing as well, and as we do development, we will concurrently be testing the code or whatever you're building, right? If you're doing a software project, of course it will be coding that needs to be tested, and it will be tested concurrently when we talk about agile. But when we talk about predictive or our traditional waterfall model, the testing is done once the build is complete. Once the entire coding phase is complete, that's when we will move into the testing phase and we will perform testing. So no concurrent testing here. While you're doing the coding, you don't test while you're doing the coding in predictive, but that is what we do when we talk about agile. What is the mindset in agile? The mindset is product. The end product is the mindset, right? So everyone is working towards the end product with the end product in mind, while in predictive, the mindset is project. We talk about the project, we are concentrated on completing the project. But it should be noted that it is not a 0-1 relationship. It is not a binary relationship here, right? I for one am a big supporter of the predictive model. So but I do realize the importance of agile as well. But when we say that the mindset is oriented towards project, it doesn't mean that we are, we don't really care about the product. All we care about is the project. That is not how it is, right? So of course product is also of utmost importance when we talk about the predictive model, but the concentration, the all the efforts are made to make sure that the project is completed on time, within budget, delivers the quality, meets the business objectives, right? So the mindset could be project oriented, while in agile the mindset is totally product oriented, right? So what are the goals? And this is where it gets interesting. The goals are similar, be it agile or be it predictive. We want to provide value to the customers. We want advancement of strategic objectives, and we want organizational benefits. So these are the goals. Whether you follow agile, whether you follow predictive, these are the very goals of both the models, right? So this is the difference. This is how it goes when we talk about agile and predictive. These are the differences. Like I said, this is from the report called Achieving Greater Agility, and we will be doing more coverage of this report. It is available for free to download for everyone. No copyrights infringement intended. All copyrights acknowledged. It's a free report by PMI. I will share the direct link of the report in the description below so that you can go over and download your own copy and go through it. So there are actually there are many sets of these report, and this is just one of it. So like I said, there you can expect much more videos and much more coverage on this report in the coming days on PMP Lounge YouTube channel. So that's all that we had in this video. Hope you learned the difference between agile and predictive, and hope you are, with these kind of videos, the entire objective is to make sure that you are aware of what is going on in the project management industry, and in your next job interview, or just when you're talking to your team, briefing them about project management, you can bring up these points, and you can, kind of transfer the knowledge to them, and they will be kind of getting involved into project management much in a much better fashion. So subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and check us out on our social media, facebook.com/pmp lounge and twitter.com/pmp lounge. And as always, do check out the website pmplounge.com, your number one free resource for PMP certification and project management industry information. Thank you.